So this morning, I am so pumped. As I said in the last episode, if you saw that, I found that website. Did I mention it in that website? Somewhere I mentioned it. Anyways, so I used to go to Simply Scripts all the time, which is this great website you can go to. They have free scripts from all over time almost. You know, I read a script on Columbo the other day, and but then it led me to this other website, which is called. Hold on, let me. It's just called TV Writing. It's literally like the real scripts, the real screenplays and teleplays from all these British shows, American shows, dramas, comedies, animation. It's even got series Bibles on there, which if you don't know what a series Bible is, it's essentially the Bible, right, is a sort of a manuscript to whatever religion, right? So that's essentially what a series Bible is. It's a manuscript to the series. There's a series Bible, there's a series Bible for every show you've ever watched. So even say Loki's super popular right now. I just watched episode 2. So good. If you're not watching Loki, you're totally missing out right now. Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson are just fantastic together. And the whole series as a whole, I can see kind of how I think it's going to go down. It kind of reminds me of a Doctor Who sort of storytelling style. But for that, even before, yes, Marvel obviously is huge, and Disney and stuff like that. They were already going to do this series. But even before that, the series creators had to obviously talk with Kevin Feige on how everything's going to go in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, how everything's going to connect together. But they had to create a Bible for that series right there. The whole story for the whole season. They had to create. Boom, this is what's going to happen. Here's the characters. Here's how the world works. Here's the things that are going to be introduced. Here's the themes. Here's all that kind of stuff before they even started like that. So you can find that all on tvwriting.com. But I've been studying a lot of scripts on there because I am obviously, continuing, my writing craft, learning and things like that. But also right now, as I've been talking about my YouTube channel, I am trying to make my own series, essentially like that. And I'm starting with, if you've seen, I did 2 sort of they were supposed to be sort of spoofy trailers of a fake movie called The Hipster Detective, with Chet Charleston's The Hipster Detective, and he's, and it's a classic neo-noir hipster vibe to it, essentially, and it's a comedy, of course, too. So mixing those 2 genres up into that. But so I've been studying different noir scripts, different detective show scripts, different comedy scripts, and molding it all together and just reading, and because that's what you got to do, And it's got me back into studying the craft. Not only that, but also to actually writing. So I've been kind of in a slump a little bit with writing scripts, writing period really. I've been doing obviously these vlogs for a while. But I haven't sat down and actually written out a script in so long now. But now I'm getting back into it. I'm super pumped up. I wrote two new sketches the other day, as I talked about. So I'm doing that, but I'm also writing the script right now for episode 1, for the pilot episode of my Hipster Detective series. And I'm trying to do it, and for me, so I'm trying to hit 10 pages to have 8 to 10 pages, to have 8 to 10 minutes on screen, 8 to 10 minutes of, on YouTube right here, because that's the attention span for YouTube. Nobody's going to sit, people who are super dedicated to a show will sit and watch, a half an hour show on YouTube that's been uploaded to YouTube or whatever like that. But nobody really, myself included, sits there for a half an hour watching something, unless it's a Q&A, a live Q&A or something like that, you know what I mean? But for a new show, I'm trying, I recently just was studying The Guild as well by Felicia Day. If you haven't checked that out, amazing show. It was one of the very first web shows on the internet, on YouTube. She won the first Webby Awards for it, I think the Webby Awards were inspired to, promote that kind of thing. But the very first episode, 4 minutes long, she tells a succinct story in 4 minutes, cold open, introduction of the characters, introduction of the world, introduction of the problems, the dynamics. It's basically cold open in Act 1, I would say. But there's at least 4 to 5 different scenes. and it's just, and the dialogue introduces everything. Like it blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, it can totally be done. You can tell a whole story in that short amount of time. You don't need, it's great for TV if you can get it. Obviously, you have 20 to 30 minutes to tell a story like that, but online, the attention span is just a little bit different, So like for me, I'm trying to think, how can I do that, and how can I introduce the characters, thinking about all the story elements and thinking about the time and stuff like that. So it's exciting, it's fun, and I hope it shows. I hope it shows through in the show. I hope it shows through in the script. I'm excited to. I want to start casting this. As soon as I get the script written, I'll know how many characters I need for at least the first episode. I've already had a couple ideas, and hopefully my acting community out here in Utica and Syracuse I can reach out to and get this thing going. But I'm excited for that this morning, and other than that, I'm gonna get through the work day as always, and then I'm gonna meet the buds out for some food and some drinks, I think. So that's gonna be a good time.
It folds into what I mentioned earlier, that we lose weight by breathing out. The seltzer introduces CO2 to the equation, so you're offsetting the equilibrium. So you're essentially unable to lose weight because you're adding CO2.
I'm always recording. Like I tell my family, you never know when I'm recording.
Oh boy, Minnie.
It's me, Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah.
It's also me, Kermit.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
You do Goofy?
Goofy, yeah. Goofy enough in real life, dog. Oh shit, I'm used to it, so it doesn't bother me, but it'll sting you like a bee. But all that shit melts. The other one is bee bulb. It's about to send out a flower, which is an absolutely gorgeous flower. But the other thing is, it's in the mint family because it has a square stem, as you can see.
Yeah.
And take a tiny little bite off that flower. You can probably smell it without biting it. Minty, oregano-y.
Yeah.
It's like
oregano.
straight oregano thyme vibes. Like I do this with chicken all the time, and it's a hummingbird magnet.
You put this in something you're cooking with chicken?
Oh yeah, big time. Like it's
Okay.
like a thyme / oregano vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you smell that? The sweet smell. It's honeysuckle.
Oh man, wow. Woo.
Yeah, dude. It's like it's a straight up herb. But yeah, man.
What is it called again?
Bee bulb. It puts out these beautiful flowers. Hummingbirds come on it. They love it, and it spreads too. I literally started with one plant here, like I don't know how many years ago, but now it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
40, 50 plants,
a lot of them.
like that you can see that are big, and then there's like dozens and dozens little ones. It's bare it's like the bare roots, and you just plant them. They usually prefer like a sunny-ish look. Like what you want to do is not harvest them for the first, let's say, year or two, because you want to let the plants strengthen. So they're gonna put out the actual edible part of the asparagus. Once it gets past a certain point, then it becomes inedible. It's too tough, and then it starts turning into the flowering portion of the plant. So that's what actually allows for the plant to strengthen and the roots to strengthen and grow like undisturbed. So you basically just spring onions, some random spring onions interspersed. Trying to use the space.
Nice.
We got this. We transplanted this wild plum tree. It was in like the backwoods over there, like abandoned. So we just like grabbed it and moved it. Oh, we got some plums on there.
Yeah.
Some wild plums, yeah. I don't know.
A little early.
Extremely sour. Just
Extremely
wretched,
sour.
Wretched. Give it 2 months.
When are they usually good to eat? And
Late
stuff, I guess?
summer, early fall.
Okay.
That's kind of my thinking. Oh shit! What the fuck's that noise? Sounds like a fucking fox.
Could be.
Yeah, we got some foxes in the area.
Little foxy guy.
Like a fox caught a crow.
Crow. Yo, in a tree or something?
Or a turkey.
No.
That's a fox. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe some sort of maybe a raccoon.
That is wild.
It sounds like high up in the tree, though, right?
That is some fucking Jurassic Park
Either
shit.
that or maybe it's a bird and something
the
that
fuck?
has eggs.